Hello and ni hao. Happy New Year 2019. After a short break, we are coming back to showing practical interviews which can help you with running a business in China. Here's the third episode with Greig from 24/7 Tickets, where you can find the best events, experiences and trips in China. In this episode, we are going to talk about the importance of using WeChatPay and AliPay in China for your business, and why you should never ever cut corners in China. I checked your website and I found out that people can pay via AliPay and WeChatPay. Was it hard to add these payment solutions on your website, and what do you need to start cooperating with them, because they're very local, the Chinese solutions?
You do definitely need like a Chinese team member to do a lot of it, because like a lot of the things, especially when you work in a sort of licensed space like we do, you have to have certain licenses before you can even get those payment methods, right? For WeChat, for example, and AliPay, I think you need a Chinese language site. You need an ICP license. You need all these things that are quite hard to get unless you're on the ground and you have some sort of Chinese team, Chinese person on your team that's able to sort of navigate that. It's a lot easier than it used to be. But also, the thing about like payment services like WeChat and AliPay is that they don't particularly care too much about you, right? They don't care about us. Like the amount of money we put through WeChatPay or AliPay is.
So they don't care about this.
Yeah, like they I think that the service and stuff is all very good, but I think that when you're comparing yourself to like, okay, how much does Jindong put through in a minute versus how much does 24/7 put it through in 6 months? They're probably similar. So for them, like so when you sort of like rely on like payment method like that, is that and I think like 75 or 70% of the people that purchase on our site purchase through WeChat, WeChatPay. It means that if their technology or API changes or whatever, you can get caught out because you sort of you rely on them so much, and they might not have sort of provide you with the information that you need. So things like that, I think, is sort of difficult to navigate. But I think now, like WeChatPay and AliPay sort of separately have completely revolutionized the sort of payments business.
Yep.
And as a and it has made things easier for people setting up businesses here, because as long as you've got the right business license and stuff like that, you can get WeChatPay fairly easily, and you can pay a developer, and in a day he or she will put it onto your site or into your app or whatever, and then suddenly you are able to access billions of people. Like no one doesn't have WeChatPay, and less so like AliPay, but it's a key thing that you need to have. Even if your target demographic is expats or whatever, it's still the same. I have no money on me, I have no cards on me, I have my phone.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's it. I went back to the UK in the summer, and I walked out of the flat we were Airbnb-ing, and walked out and was going to the local shop to get some like supplies or whatever. Got halfway down the road and I was like, I don't have my wallet, don't have anything. And I was like, I've got my phone. Yeah. And so I walked into the shop and then was like, actually, how am I going to pay for this, right? and I had Apple Pay, but then for some reason my card hadn't updated on Apple Pay, and I didn't have my card to say the back, the numbers on the back to kind of verify it. So literally just had this shopping and just had to kind of go, right, I'm going to put all this back and then go back and get my wallet and come back. And it's just like, in China, it's just so easy.
Yeah, very easy.
And so if you're a business, especially a consumer-facing business, you got to have your WeChatPay.
So we also can make a conclusion that if you want to start using AliPay and WeChatPay for your business, you need to, first of all, set up a company here.
and find some local staff to do all the fill in all the documents, or
you can do it. You can do it yourself, and there's agencies out there that will charge you a little bit of money and to help you set it up. And there's always ways around certain things, right? But if you're doing it and you want to do everything above the board and legitimately, which I would 100% recommend doing, then you do need a helpful sort of friend that is going to be able to fill in all the documentation for you and verify you and stuff like that. If you're putting a small amount of money through, it doesn't, you don't have to completely verify yourself, right? WeChatPay will let you do certain things to certain tiers. But if you're putting a lot of money through, then you have to have everything sort of done and licensed, business license, etc., etc.
There's also a thing that when people use AliPay or WeChatPay to pay you, then you still need some time to transfer from AliPay or WeChatPay account to your bank account.
So it takes, I think it's 24 hours. So if you're doing it, and I think I see quite a bit sometimes when people are starting up businesses and they're there's certain things like that you just need to do. Like as soon as you set your company up and you decide which tax area you're going to be in, you have to start filing your taxes. Okay, the tax authorities in China are ruthless, right? And so they will, they're quite rightly, they will basically bring you up on if you're not doing it properly, and you'll get fined and you'll get a black mark against you or whatever. I see people all the time going, I'm only doing this much money in my business. I'll take personal money, for example, on WeChat, and I'll go into my account and it's fine, and I don't have to pay tax and all this stuff. And then,
never do this.
No, never, ever do that, because the thing is, the tax authority will look at you and your business and say, hold on, they've got X amount of customers, they've got, an office, they've got all these different things, and they made 0 gross sales, or 10 RMB of gross sales, whatever. Something's going on, and as soon as they open the book, that's you. It's never. One of the biggest lessons I think that I always sort of share is that you never ever cut corners. There will be people everywhere saying, cut this corner, do this, do that. Never ever do it, because if you are truly sort of, if you want to start your business and you want to sort of get investment and you want to scale it and you want to go on to do amazing things, even that first day when you opened your business, they will look back to. So do everything right. It might cost you a little bit more money. You might lose some clients maybe or whatever. If a client can't give you a Fapiao, then I'll say, well, we don't work with them. It's just, and we turn down business because of that, because it's just too much trouble. It's just, you just want to make sure everything is right from day one.
Have you found any pitfalls with? Have you found any pitfalls in the cooperation with AliPay and WeChatPay?
Only we had one incident with WeChatPay, which was, looking back, it was quite funny, but we had a specific API connection with WeChatPay. So, you booked a ticket, its QR code came up, you scanned it, did the money, done. And then overnight, they changed their API, and all of our all our WeChat payments stopped working. So when you scan the code, it came up with this error message saying this company haven't got some sort of, because the Chinese was correct. The Chinese said basically that the connection had changed and to contact the site owner. But in English, they just translated it into this company doesn't have the right license, basically. So our customers were getting this message, sort of contacting customer service going, what's going on? You're going out of business? What's happened to my tickets? I've already paid and all this stuff, right? And what had happened, we spoke to WeChatPay, and it was, again, it was funny thinking back, but back then it was quite stressful. One of our guys got on the phone with WeChat and said, what's going on? You've changed the API, and she's like, oh yeah, so we did communicate with you a few weeks ago, but actually we were going to roll it out in 2 weeks' time, but unfortunately something happened last night, so we rolled it out early. And he was like, but you didn't tell anyone. She was like, yeah. and then we're like, well, what do we do? and they were like, oh, our development team can sort of help you out, but it'll be a couple of days before we can do anything. And you're just like, wow, that's just, you know, and for 2 days we had to sort of hack around it and stuff. And you know, the last kind of thing a guy said to was just like, you know, how many phone calls have you got about this? And she was like, a lot of phone calls. But it's just like, you know, it's just one of these things where, you know, for whatever reason, WeChat had to change their API, maybe, I don't know, for some issue that no one will ever know about, and they just blanket did it, you know, and of course, if you're Jindong or something like that, then very easy to change. Yeah, they'll contact you, but you know, not for the huge amount of smaller sort of businesses.
And as I understood, there are no ways to skip this. Like, I mean, like you can't save your company. They can just do it.
Yeah. Essentially, that's what it is, and it's like, and it's the same with the, you know, you
maybe have some different options. Like if WeChat doesn't work, then you need to have AliPay or
you use AliPay, credit card, or whatever. You know, you can have these options ready, but most people use WeChatPay, and I think that's the danger of, you know, where you have a company that relies not maybe just for payments, but for, like, you know, you have companies that are solely based on WeChat, and you know, they're very, very successful and worth a lot of money, but it only takes one sort of change in WeChat or one decision from Tencent that potentially could completely change your business, completely wipe your business out, or in fact give you a load more opportunity. But because you're relying on that sort of business so much, then it's difficult. You're relying for your user acquisition, you're relying for your marketing and promotion, you're relying for your for payments, all these things that outside of China, I think that there isn't one sort of company or one sort of app that you rely on. Of course, there's businesses that are just based on Amazon, for example, or whatever, but they're still, you know, if Amazon suddenly, you know, went bust, you would still be able to sort of sell, right? You'd still be able to make a website and like do it. So I think you know, it worries me. We rely heavily on WeChat, you know, a lot of promotion, a lot of our communities or whatever. And sometimes I do wake up at night just thinking, oh, right, you know, what if that changes? But, you know, it's all about diversifying and making sure that you're not solely reliant on one thing, and trying to kind of spread your business out enough so that if this thing stops working, then this thing will, you know, be okay or whatever, you know.